Okay. Good morning, I guess. Uh, this is not the morning brew. That's really all I have to say. Um, Anyone wants to join, that's fine. I'll drop the link in the chat. There it is. I'm sure there's going to be one person who's going to come on. If not, that's fine. Go ahead and pin the link. Okay, well, I got somebody backstage. I'm guessing I know who it is, but who knows?
Hello, world. Birdo Prime 5, COPPA.
Clock. Let's go down to
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed?
no.
No, there was always a chance.
No. I woke up about 2 a.m. with my ear ringing uncontrollably. Just another lovely symptom of tinnitus. And I was already in pain and needing a pill that I didn't take until about normal time.
I'm sorry to hear that, Cap.
So
I mean, it wasn't pain, but I had a pretty crappy night myself. But it wasn't pain, so you win.
I'm sorry to hear you had a bad night. What happened?
No, and just awful dreams. A night where I didn't get, like, the CPAP machine sometimes. I don't know how yours is, but sometimes it's just like drying out my throat instead of doing anything.
Yep.
And no matter how I fix it, it doesn't want to feel right. And like I wake up every couple hours gasping for air. And on top of that, I was just having really crappy dreams, like nightmares I don't normally have. And so I woke up this morning really feeling like I hadn't slept much, if at all. But thankfully, not a whole lot of pain, actual pain. So I do feel for the.
I just got down to a level where it's more tolerable now. Resolute Germ was asking me if it was to the point of going to the ER. And quite honestly, if it weren't for the emergency room bill, if it'd been a little higher, I would
have. What can they do in the ER? Just out of curiosity. Give you painkiller?
That's about it.
Hello, Aber Love Score.
Good morning. Morning, Cappers, and hail to the great Kurogan Coxbud.
Hail.
Sorry to hear you guys are under the weather. That sucks.
Why are you on here, Michael T? You're supposed to be in another stream.
I wouldn't really say I'm under the weather. I just had a crappy night.
Yeah.
Don't want to overblow it, but
doesn't help though.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't help that I'm using my old CPAP machine, the one my doctor prescribed. Doesn't work right.
My
That's the new
doctor
hate.
just prescribed me to have a new sleep study so I can get a new machine. So we're actually working on getting that done.
The funny thing is, he wanted to put me on one of these, whatever, machines, which are more intended for somebody with a nasal thing. I wear a full face mask. So anytime I breathe out, it cuts down the amount of air that's put out. So I wake up gasping for air.
That's kind of counterproductive. It's kind of
Mine is
the
the
opposite of the point.
ResMed AirSense 10. I don't know. It seems like a pretty basic.
Yeah, well, mine's a ResMed. I don't know what the hell.
Now,
I think it's an AirSense, yeah. Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, but there are CPAPs and there are BiPAPs, right? But
Correct.
I never really figured out what the difference was.
The BiPAP is basically for the it's more for the nasal.
Okay, and the CPAP is more sort of lung related.
The CPAP can be either, but yeah, typically more full face. And I think this is actually a BiPAP.
All right, so a BiPAP is what Bird's been using, the little thing up his nose, right?
No.
No?
That's air.
Excuse me. I'm using supplemental oxygen.
Okay.
It's just a little machine that gives out little puffs of nearly pure oxygen. Which would be like if some people use oxygen tanks that just have a continuous flow of oxygen at a low amount, but they have an oxygen concentrator, so you don't have to constantly change tanks.
Right.
But at night, I use probably the same machine as Captain, which is a ResMed auto sensing CPAP machine, which is actually very similar to a BiPAP in that there's a high and low pressure. A CPAP, I think the C means continuous.
Continuous, yes.
Continuous. Whereas this model is automatic in that it actually has a different pressure when you breathe out, a lower pressure than when you blow in, suck in. It's a higher pressure.
I love that.
Okay.
To make it a little easier to breathe.
Yeah.
So it sort of it kicks in when it detects that your breathing is shallow or irregular, that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Got you. And NB Geek wants to know if it's not the morning brew, what is it? Well, in my estimation, it's the cold coffee afternoon.
It's still pretty morning here, just not no brew for me.
It's cold coffee brunch. I have to say though, I've said this before, but it's worth saying again. I really love the niche that Captain has cut out for himself with the morning brew. You know, we're a little late today compared to normal, but even when he starts at like 5 or 6 in the morning, it's really not long before there's a substantial viewer count going up. You know, people really.
Oh my God. NB Geek, that is terrible. I'm sorry, Aberjam, but NB Geek just stroked. He had an issue Sunday. Something hanging up fell and hit his eagle moss collection, destroyed all of his 1701 Enterprises, cage TOS, and the refit. Klingon bastards, I bet.
That's
Son of a bit. I very
that's
sad
pretty
to
awful.
hear.
Romulans.
Romulans. Treacherous
Romulans.
Romulans.
Yeah.
Green-blooded bastards.
And eagle NOS are not cheap or easy to replace either.
Oh, God, no. So, damn, that sucks.
Arabic says, you broke your little shits. Well, that's putting it a little
Sounds like it
lightly,
did.
Arabic.
Like from First Contact. I like it. I like the reference. Good reference, Arabic. Though sad
Yeah.
situation.
Absolutely. Nice reference, though. Hello, Yvette. Afternoon.
Morning.
Good morning,
It
Yvette.
is morning. You're right.
Yeah.
We're
No, not here, but I nodded off. I woke up and you were live. Yeah.
Well, that worked out well.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
What have I missed? Anything good?
Just the first 10 minutes. Oh, excuse me.
We'll need to re-edit the whole thing because there wasn't an intro because I didn't feel like it.
Okay.
Yeah, just jumped right in. And how have you been, Yvette?
Oh, yeah. I had a great night. We were celebrating LDG's birthday. Yeah. Apart from that, normal domestic crap I have to do around the house, etc.
As you do.
And yeah, a bit of work, and then
The hell?
I did bob on to Boob Down Arts to say hello because he'd gone live, and then I nodded off. As you do.
It's that kind of weather. It makes me so drowsy. This heat again. Not
Yeah.
complaining. I never complain when it gets hot because spend all winter
Well,
waiting
I
for the sun to come out. But it does make me
No,
drowsy having this muggy weather.
I will complain. It's disgusting here.
Well, we'll just have yours then. You can have the cold rain and wind and all that lovely stuff.
I don't mind the cold because you can add layers. Hot, you can only peel everything off until you're naked. And even then, sat in a wind tunnel here, I'm dripping.
You know, you can buy portable air conditioning machines for like 50, 60 quid. You put ice cube in them.
Yeah, I've got one of them. They don't work.
Oh, well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, don't spend your money on that. Trust me. I have got this wonderful bottle, which you can hear. I'm losing my voice. And it's called Cooling Mist.
Oh yeah.
Guess what I'm going to do now? I'm going to spray my face with it.
Now, is it one of those bottles with a fan attached to it or not?
No, like it looks like an aerosol can. Oh god, that's good. Oh god, that's nice. And it doesn't feel cold when it goes on, but once it touches the skin, it goes ice cold. Eee.
Yeah, it's like Roljex cold spray, right? Or deep.
Yeah, but
the cold version of deep heat.
yeah, no, it's specifically designed. You can you can actually spray it in a hot car, shut the doors, and the mist will cool down the air in a car. It does all sorts
Oh
of things.
wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
No pun intended.
yeah.
And let's see
Oh,
here. Hello, Bone. Hello, Dave. Hello, Bosco. NB Geek. Katie Myers.
Bosco Scenario is not a name I'm familiar with. It's a new one on me.
that's nice. He's a sweetheart. Now, Captain, how are you
Yes.
doing? Because I know you're not doing too good today.
Pain levels high. I woke up about, like I said, about 3 o'clock in the morning. Already hurting, needing the medicine. I waited to take it until 6, which is the normal time. And, yeah. Didn't do a fucking thing. Well, it did. Reduced it.
So what number are we on today?
Right now it's about 7.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
It's probably a 9 in most people's book.
Yeah, I was
Correct.
gonna say. Yeah.
Let me put it to you this way. I've had to eliminate the whole 0 to 10 scale and kind of figure out my own. When I was talking to a vet earlier, I was literally in tears.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing your new scale is just various volumes of screaming.
It's well, let's put it this way. For most people, I'm always at a 3. That's constant. That is the quote unquote pain-free morning.
Back.
Gonna grab my coffee.
I'm kind of at the point where I don't know if my pain is gone away or it's just so consistent that my brain has learned to filter it out.
Yeah, there's a point where that.
That certainly happens with the tinnitus. My tinnitus is constant, but a lot of the time I just don't notice it because my brain is just focusing on other things instead. But the minute I take my focus off of something, it's there, you know.
Oh, like mine right now. It's just a constant fucking buzz in my right ears, especially.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything out of my right ear except that.
I've had a recent development with my tinnitus that thankfully it's only happened on maybe 2 occasions, but it'll do a hiss and then a pop and then a whistle. That happens reasonably frequently. That's maybe 4 or 5 times a year that'll happen. But recently it's been a hiss, pop, whistle, and then I go temporarily deaf in that ear. That can be a little disconcerting.
That would, scare the hell out of me.
Yeah. I mean, the tinnitus itself, birds, you kind of get used to. When I first got it, it was like, I don't mind admitting, it was terrifying. I honestly thought that it was going to drive me literally insane. You just can't. When you first develop it, you just cannot focus on anything else at all. You can't distract yourself from it, take your mind off it. It's just, and I was getting very short and angry with people who were just being relatively normal with me. I was just like, shut up, don't care. So when you first get it, it's it's a very frightening experience and a very frustrating experience. But it does, thankfully, it does go down and then find its sort of nominal level. Your brain learns, like I said, your brain learns to kind of filter a lot of it out. So it becomes manageable. But the new development with going temporarily deaf in one ear, I'm hoping that's just a peculiarity rather than a sign of things to come. But it's a little worrying when it happens.
Okay, if I wasn't in pain, I would be laughing at that one. Random menace.
Yes, thanks for your
That's how bad it hurts. I'm able to recognize a joke, and I'm going, can't laugh, but good one. And I have no idea what that is. So
Richie Poole says, "Is Bezos launching himself into space today?" We can only hope, Richie.
Yes, he is at 9 a.m.
Sorry,
And I would.
what did it say?
Jeff Bezos is launching himself into space at 9 a.m.
Okay.
goodbye, good riddance, whatever.
I wouldn't wish harm on anyone, but let's just say I hope he finds it so pleasant up there that he doesn't bother to come back.
Why? Why is all this hate for Jeff Bezos? The man changed the world. We love Amazon here.
Yeah,
Plus, he was a nice guy. He let people take their dogs to work.
Yeah, but there's a tipping point, Bird, and if you look at what he gets up to behind the scenes, a lot of political maneuvering.
What is it that he did? What is it that he does? Because the only thing people can claim is that he made a lot of money.
Making money is fine. Amazon reportedly treats its staff like dirt. Particularly,
they don't pay their
warehouse
staff a lot, but if the people don't want to work, they don't have to take the job.
It's not just about the money, Bird. It's just about
Walmart don't pay any better.
Some people don't have the option. You've got to remember, we've been in an economic decline. You know, people are now hiring again, but it's been very difficult for people to find or hold down jobs. And I don't just mean the whole plague thing. Even prior to that, you know, it was time.
Okay, but they're in an industry where they have cutthroat, lowest possible prices. You're not going to find high-paying jobs at places that get by selling things at the lowest possible price. Walmart is never going to pay a ton of money. Amazon is not going to pay a ton of money to their, low entry-level employees. If you want to become an executive, I'm sure you make good money. But if you're somebody working in the warehouse that's going to be replaced by a robot in the next 10 years, I don't expect you to be making a ton of money. It's not, there's no demand for it.
Well, we could have the discussion about how Bezos makes trillions every year and could quite easily afford to pay his low-level staff better. But like I said, it's not even just about the salaries. It's about quality of life at work. And from what I understand, there's many reports that Amazon, floor-level staff are pretty much treated like crap.
Okay, entry-level employees in any industry are treated like crap. Like JetBlue, which is a popular airline here in the United States, both Sisopre and Mamopre worked for JetBlue from ground, started entry level. Okay, they made barely above minimum wage. They had relatively bad health benefits. The only benefit they got that was working for the airline was that you got to fly standby for free. That's the only good benefit from working for an airline. Otherwise, they're treated like shit. They had to get to work like an hour plus before they could clock in. If they were more than like 5 minutes late, it was a point against them. And if they had more than like 3 points, they weren't eligible for a raise. I mean, these were terrible things, and these were going on in the 90s and 2000s and 2010s. The entry level people that, you know, it's hard, but you're working your way up. You're not going to spend your life working behind the customer service desk unless that's your only ambition is to do it. So I just don't understand, again, where so many people today are saying Jeff Bezos, they don't want him to come back. But I can't figure out what he's doing wrong. He would go out of business if he paid people twice what they were making now. There would be no company, nobody, there would be no jobs at all. So you can't, I mean, we're constantly fighting with inflation now, and because of the raise in minimum wage, what used to cost me, $3 at McDonald's literally now costs $6.50. Okay, you used to be able to get an egg McMuffin for like $1.59 to $2. Now it's $4 and change, if not $5 and change, for just an egg McMuffin. And God knows all the other stuff on the menu. So the people who eat McDonald's, well, okay, now the people working at McDonald's are getting paid $15 an hour, but now your trip to McDonald's, instead of costing you $5 or $6, costs you $10 to $15. So it's like, well, any money you saved because you're getting higher pay, you lost because you're paying higher prices. And it's not just McDonald's. It's gas stations. It's supermarkets, the cost of meat, the cost of beef, the cost of pasta, the cost of bread, the cost of milk. They've all jumped up like crazy. And it's all because we're, quote unquote, forcing people to pay more because we're like, whoa, we're increasing starting pay like we're doing the economy a favor. You're not doing the economy any favor by increasing the minimum wage. You're only increasing inflation, and that's bad for everybody.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one, Bird. I'm not pro minimum wage raising at all. It's like it works exactly how you just described. It just pushes the rest of the economy up with you, and you end up with no real gain from it. I believe in a competitive capitalist market. Let employers pay their let their employers pay their employees what they feel is a fair wage, and people will go to that job, and some employers will rise up above others in terms of popularity and profit and whatnot, and that it'll balance itself out without creating massive inflation. And again, that's not really what I'm mainly focused on in the conversation. It's just it's working conditions and treatment and staff and that kind of thing. And I know what you say, like low-level employees, and not just treated like crap in Amazon. Plenty of other places do it. But whataboutism is not a valid argument. Well, that other guy's doing it is not a justification in my eyes. Treat your staff well. It's just purely an ethical thing that really doesn't cost you anything to do. Just
okay, maybe how is he not treating his staff well?
I don't know, but I can't validate it myself, but I have heard about and seen reports of ground floor employees complaining that their working conditions are poor, that their superiors treat them like crap. That quite often
I don't know of a job where people don't complain about their superiors treating them like crap.
I've been in a few jobs where I haven't heard much about the higher ups being terrible. The last 3 jobs that I did, well, my previous job, my manager changed, and the new manager was a complete arsehole. But prior to him, my manager before that was an absolute doll.
Okay, but even in that case, it's it's your manager that's really the issue, not the CEO of the company. Jeff Bezos isn't personally responsible for the poor.
The ethos trickles down from the top, Bird. You set your example at the top, and that example trickles down. Now it's I'm pretty sure that Bezos is a very intelligent and well-informed man, and that he knows that these things are happening or being reported to happen in his company, and it's down to him to send that message down the line or deal with it directly as much as he can to make sure that doesn't happen, or to make sure that it isn't happening, and have evidence to the contrary to say, look, these reports are coming out, but they're quantifiably untrue.
Here's the problem, though. And granted, I'm using a reality show as an example, but there is some truth to it. Okay, you have the show Undercover Bosses, which shows the owner of a company going in at the base level and finding out things that are happening or are not supposed to be happening.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these reports that are being filed are either being misplaced or misfiled, if not outright destroyed. The few that do get through, they're settled quietly.
We have Wesley Crusher in the chat. Wesley works Walmart, retail. So Wesley, I'm wondering, do you have any personal experience or know anybody who's worked at Walmart and Amazon, like an Amazon warehouse? And if so, do they have anything to say that one is definitively better than the other as a place to work?
Just to address Josef's comment, interesting how people don't want to work for Amazon, but Amazon has 130 employees. There's a difference between wanting to do something and needing to do something. Josef, you know, when you need a job, if Amazon is the only place you can get a job, you go to Amazon. You deal with, you know, whatever employer you're working for. If they're a crappy employer, you deal with the crap just to get the paycheck, and you look for work elsewhere while you're doing it. But you know, you can't just snap your fingers and get your dream job. 99% of the time, at least, you have to deal with the crap in order to find your way to the good stuff. But you know, for some people, it never works out that way. For some people, they just get stuck in the crappy job that they don't want. But they do it because they need the paycheck.
Okay, so Wesley doesn't know anyone at Amazon, and he works for a not Walmart. Sorry, Wes. I didn't mean to. A Walmart-like store, I guess. Okay, so
Right.
he doesn't know anyone at Amazon.
Similar type of
Gotcha.
shape. Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
in my opinion, Jim, and again, I don't have any firsthand experience, obviously, but the people who I've heard complain about floor conditions and whatnot in warehouses seem to be the type of people that were A, looking to unionize, B, just looking for reasons to complain and continue this class warfare as a political ideology, more so than anyone actually complaining. People I do know who you know, become drivers for Amazon, Fresh or whatever, their deliveries, don't generally seem to have an issue as long as they do what they're supposed to do. Yeah, it's not the best job, but it's not supposed to be a career. It's generally a job you take for a short time, and you either move on or move up.
Well, I mean, I've worked as a delivery driver for FedEx for a year. I was actually a warehouse worker, but I did a lot of standing work for the contracted drivers because quite often they off. But the only real complaint I had as a delivery driver was pressure to do a certain number of drops per day. That could be a little tense, completing all of those orders. But aside from that, being a delivery drivers is for the most part a pretty enjoyable and laid back job, as long as you can deal with traffic. And I think if you're dealing with traffic all day, every day, you learn to deal with traffic. It's a fairly low pressure job, with the exception of, like I said, the actual
When I was working, we had a lot of shipments coming in and out of our office every day. So we knew really well our FedEx driver and our UPS driver. Our FedEx driver, I don't know if it was he had like an independent contract or whatever, but he was not unionized. And he hustled and moved, and as quickly as he could, he made his deliveries and was on to the next place. Our UPS driver was in a union. He would come in the morning, drop off packages, go down to his van, his truck, park in the corner of our parking lot, open the back on a nice day, lay on top of the boxes, take a nap for an hour, then do the pickups, go out, come back a few hours later, and do the same thing in the afternoon, because that was his job. He didn't. I guess he got paid the same amount regardless or whatever, but he had 2 naps a day scheduled in our parking lot that we could find him. Where the UPS driver would the FedEx driver would pull up and he would not stop. He would, as much as he could do, as quickly as he could do it, in, out, as fast, bomb. We knew in the company that if we were sending something to a senior office person or to the president, founder of the company, he had a rule: only use FedEx. Even though FedEx was a little bit more expensive, generally, we shipped almost everything of value to the important people via FedEx. If you got something via UPS, it was either because it was extremely heavy, 1, or 2, wasn't something we were legally supposed to ship because we were an alcohol company. And we cared less about UPS than our FedEx standing. Or 3, nobody liked you. That was.
I can almost.
Well, there would also be
Bird,
a 4th category, Bird. There would also be a 4th category, because I have had nothing, and I mean nothing, but bad luck with FedEx. Really.
My experience is the opposite.
Only want things delivered UPS.
In my neighborhood now, UPS doesn't come till like 8 at night, and more often than not more often, but quite often, even though a UPS is scheduled for delivery on a day, they won't get here till so late that they just go back to they never make the delivery. They go back to the thing and they reschedule it for the next day. So I hate when I have a UPS scheduled delivery, because I know it's not coming early. Whereas if it's FedEx or it's post office, it's usually here by 3 p.m.
Honestly, I've had the exact opposite experience. It either is here early or on time, with one exception, and that was during the snowstorms that were going on this past winter, whenever it was going on before, where there was a lot of delays and stuff. And hello, the relaxing relaxer. I've not seen you before.
And good morning, LDG.
And Wesley Crusher says, my current manager is a big dick that only cares about himself.
I mean,
I'm sorry,
getting back to FedEx and UPS, I mean, to some degree, obviously, each individual depot itself is going to play some part into that, depending on who the manager is, how they run the place. When I worked for FedEx, our particular depot was pretty conscientious and hardworking. But I also heard some horror stories of people in other depots running wild, kicking parcels across the warehouse to each other to get them on the pallets and stuff like that. So,
Of course, the Korogan miners get naps. 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. every night.
But the one thing
6 straight hours.
The one thing I can almost guarantee, you'll be able to back me up or shout me down on this. My money is on the ununionized FedEx worker was probably far and far more personable than the unionized UPS.
Oh, I'm sure. Although the UPS guy, he was laid back, chill, like want to be everybody's friend, which he probably did because he had time.
But but as soon as it came to actually doing work, I bet he was a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, exactly. Captain, could you please highlight LDG's surprisingly comment?
Well,
the one above that. Poor Yvette.
Oh dear.
I guess it hit him at 41.
I'm sure he'd have been better hung if he'd come in a bit earlier and heard Yvette talking about stripping down naked.
Oh God!
That probably would have got his dander up.
That was funny.
Sorry to hear it, Pickles. I think they make some type of prosthesis if you need.
Any comment, Yvette? This is making before she's awake.
I think she's crying.
She's off making lemonade. A comment reminds me of I think it might have been Blackadder, but I'm not 100% sure. But he's a sheriff or something. He's talking to someone who gets caught for thieving and says, "I'll make sure you're bloody well hung in the morning." And the guy says, "I think you'll find I'm bloody well hung already."
And the random menace says, "No worries, the tip counts."
Not for Yvette, I don't think.
When you're in Kuroga, the tip always counts. Isn't that
Absolutely.
right,
Absolutely.
We haven't heard the Bird of Prey porn backing track for a while on Anti-Tracker's channel. So I think I'm going to request that since he gets his computer back.
Oh, for those who don't know, Anti-Tracker's MRI went very bad.
Oh.
That's why he couldn't stream yesterday. Yeah, he had a hard time. Not the results were bad.
Okay.
The medication and the chemicals they gave him did not agree with him, and he had like a very, very awful time. Unfortunately, I feel terrible now that we were joking about things to worry about while he was getting the MRI. I hope that really didn't make it any worse. I suspect it was just because, in hindsight, eating it probably wasn't the day to eat the hot foods.
Eating all that crap. No.
But yeah, no. If you were expecting him to stream yesterday, that's why he didn't. He was not up to it, and I hope he's feeling better this morning. But he had a very bad afternoon.
Well, hopefully he'll get some good results from the MRI to balance out the crappy day.
From the way I heard, I'm not even sure the MRI will be useful.
Oh dear.
I don't know if they were able to finish it or not.
His breath really did melt the machine, huh?
Possibly. No, I know he's claustrophobic. So if the medication that kind of makes him not care about claustrophobia didn't work, or the chemicals they gave him made him feel sick, then there's no way they could have finished the MRI. Oh. Yeah, Richie, you did tell him pretend he was in a Jeffries tube. But easier said than done.
I get a little claustrophobic, but thankfully, I don't think an MRI machine would be enough to set me off. As long as I have an easy and open escape from whatever situation I'm in, I'm generally okay. Elevators are not good for me. I'll get in an elevator, but I'm always nervous going up an elevator.
Random Menace says yesterday's evening or afternoon for you was so weird. Bring back a normal schedule. Is that he's talking to you, Captain? I assume. I mean, my schedule was basically the same except for going on LDG instead of my channel.
It seems Captain and Debet are both absent. I wonder what they're up to.
That would be you, and I'm here.
Oh, to all YouTubers. Yeah, it was an unusual day on YouTube yesterday. I'll grant you that.
I did enjoy.
Well, it started because Anti-Tracker was still streaming from the night before.
Yesterday, I tuned in just in time to see Anti-Tracker getting gob around that 13 million Scoville gummy bear.
Oh, yeah.
That was definitely worth tuning in for.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to do that so early. I thought he'd save that for the finale, but I guess just as well. You don't want to have that an hour before your MRI, but 12 hours or 8 hours might not have been enough either.
Did you do a bed life last night, Bird? I'm usually late
I
tuning in.
did it, but I did it on LDG's channel.
That's why then.
I put it in the community section. I put out a link to it. And I tried to put out a video that was going to go live at 4 p.m. that was going to tell people to go to LDG's channel. But I accidentally scheduled it for today at 4 p.m. instead of yesterday at 4 p.m. I didn't realize that. So it never got sent out. But it does. If you go to my YouTube channel and you go to the Bed Life or the live streams playlist, it does link to the LDG stream, so you could watch it there.
Okay.
It was like an hour long Bed Life because it was different because it had the panel. It had LDG's panel, but it had I was bigified and doing it like I would normally do a Bed Life. And then Mamo Prey was a little sick, so I ended it early.
Did you say you were
Mamo
bigified?
Prey's feeling a lot better. Yeah, I was bigified.
I'm not sure we need to know that information.
It's a technical term, you know. YouTubers use it.
And some good news update coming out of NV Geeks Camp.
There it is. Thank you for bigifying me, Captain.
I'm
Simply
fine with
willing
that
to
until
demonstrate.
I'm fine with that until it winks at me, and that always creeps me out.
Richie Poole asked, am I going to clip out my live stream? No, but what I can do is I can send you the start time so you can watch it on LDG's channel if you don't want to watch through his whole stream. I mean, the whole point was as a Christmas present, as a birthday present, I wanted to do it on his channel to try to get him some new subscribers. So
Yeah, some good news coming out of NB Geek's camp. Madam Geek has managed to fix 2 of the 3 ships. So
Yep.
there's some positive news coming out there.
or if LDG wants to cut it out and make a video, he's welcome to do that too, whatever he prefers.
So how much are you looking forward to Picard Season 2, Bird?
I mean, I'm looking forward in that it'll be it'll get a lot of attention, I think, in reviews. But personally, in terms of quality of the show, I highly doubt it's going to be much better than season 1. In fact, it might be worse. I'm not sure.
I'm frankly not sure I'm even gonna watch it. At this point, watching anything like modern Star Trek, I only do it so that I know what I'm talking about when I tear a strip out of it.
Yeah, that's basically. It's not that I'm really watching because I'm watching it to love it.
I mean, the first review comes out from my usual subscriptions that says actually they rated the ship and Picard Season 2 is awesome and more like genuine Trek, then yeah, I'll go and watch it. But I'm not holding any hope for that happening.
Yeah,
But you know,
not exactly expecting anything big.
But the negative news is not always on point. I mean, there's a lot of negative stuff about Black Widow out there at the moment. But personally, I do have a couple of major complaints. On the whole, I quite enjoyed it. I'd give it a solid 7 out of 10.
You gave Picard 7 out of 10?
No, Picard, I would. Can you give negatives out of 10?
I mean, you can. It kind of defeats the purpose, but you can. I've given negatives from time to time, but then I try to.
I'm just totally knocked down with the sad old man's apology world tour theme. I mean, the only positive thing really I have to say about Picard is that some, and I stress, some of the acting was good, regardless of whether I agree with the actual character arc or whatever. The acting was good. I felt like Patrick Stewart was phoning it in, to be honest. But and at his age, exactly how much energy does he have to really make a convincing performance? But Picard himself felt kind of a bit phoned in.
Have a good day, Wes. You're right.
Take
See you
care,
later,
Wes.
Wesley. As always, I did enjoy Brent Spiner. I know a lot of his roles are pretty niche, but I always like seeing him on screen. There's just something about him that I find very laughable and watchable. A lot of people hate his role as the professor in Independence Day, I really like him. I like the whole quirky, crazy
Oh, I love
professor
that.
thing that he did.
I love
You
that.
know,
It reminded me of his Night Court role.
yeah. But yeah, as far as Picard season 1, some good acting is about the only positive thing I have to say about it. That and the meme ability of bunny corns. We've got a bit of new meme out of the bunny corn, but yeah, I know Anti-Trekker disagrees with me on Picard's apology world tour. He feels like Picard was always a little bit of an arrogant, pompous captain and needed bringing down a peg or two, but I don't agree with that assessment. I don't think Picard was. I think he was just highly educated and well spoken, occasionally a little bit arrogant, but then nobody's perfect. Every character has to have flaws, but certainly not so much as he needed tearing down a strip. I'm
sorry. I like Andy Trekker, but if he's going to knock somebody for that, he needs to look in the mirror, because he's gotten to be a kind of pompous dick himself and needs to be brought down a peg or two.
I wouldn't agree with that. I would definitely agree that he's become more outspoken in his opinions. Lately, he's been a little more combative with certain YouTube factions, shall we say. Not entirely unwarranted, though, but I'd say he has the potential to handle that better. But I wouldn't say that he's become pompous and arrogant, just a little more outspoken, in my estimation.
Absolutely. I'm not going to disagree. We have a different point of view, but we're all welcome to our point of view.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to tear you down for your opinion. I'm just sort of expressing my own.
Mm-hmm.
He has recently, I have brought this with him, he has recently become a little more antagonistic, I think. Not massively so, but a little more, and I've spoken with him about it. It's up to him whether he thinks it's valid criticism or and whether he wants to do something about it. But I've made my thoughts known to him, certainly. But I do love Anti-Trekker dearly. He says he considers me a friend, and I feel likewise. I consider him a friend, and that's why I occasionally, point out where I think there's error, just to try and keep him straight, because I know what high standards he has for himself, and I like to try and help him continue to achieve those standards. NB says, my thoughts on Anti-Trekker: he's arrogant, pompous, very close-minded, and quick to take offense. So that is why I do not go to his channel or join when I know he is on. So yeah, and NB's not particularly enamored of Anti-Trekker, which is again his prerogative to do so. There is a kernel of truth, I think, in that he can be a little quick to anger, but it's not. That's not his final destination. If he does get a little quick to anger, he usually works it through and comes out the other side as more tempered and level-headed about the whole thing.
And hello, Nut Right does.
Definitely showing your nut stripes there, Mr. Albanese.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with a Red Dwarf quote. I just like you all to know that all of the years that we've been together, I come to consider you all as people I met. Smoke me a kipper, I'll be back for breakfast. Richie Poole's disagreeing, saying Anti-Trekker is a great guy.
That's fine.
So we have fans and we have non-fans alike. But I think it's only fair that we keep that conversation fairly short without him present. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I agree.
This is
As I
all,
said,
all we need to say.
as I said before, there's nothing wrong with talking about someone in their absence as long as it's something that you would say to their face. But I think
Exactly.
it's not worth laboring a point when they're
No, it is
not present.
correct. Yeah, I will never say anything on a live stream that I would not say to somebody's face. Do so is wrong.
Yeah, it's a good ethos for keeping yourself straight. I mean, in my case, it leads to me saying occasionally some pretty foul things about people when they are not present, but they are things that those people are thoroughly aware of. So, as long as you're consistent, that's the important thing.
Now, if I'm not on a live stream and I'm talking to somebody in particular, I may go into more specifics, and I'm not talking about ID tracker. I'm talking about our other individuals in the community as well. I sometimes get frustrated with that. I may talk to somebody else and say, "Okay, what do I do about this?" But it's not going out on the internet and say, "Hey, blah 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 blah. I have an issue with this person. What do I do?" So, but I think that's a different set of circumstances. But it's not intended to be broadcast.
Yeah. Just for clarity, Geek, I believe what Geek is saying is that in much the same way, despite his opinion of anti-tracker, he's made his opinion well known anti-tracker. So there's no backstabbing or gossiping.
No. Oh, no.
So, Not Ryan Johnson says, let's talk about Bird instead and his inability to land a plane or avoid getting killed in under 1 minute in a game. At this point, I'm convinced that Bird could probably crash a bowl of cereal.
It only happened
Damn
once.
Damn you. Oh, there. Oh, it's funny.
Sorry, Kappas. I didn't mean to cause you pain.
Oh, Captain, sorry I haven't been very talkative. Kind of been rather useless here today.
Have you slept well?
I'm going to go to sleep now. Definitely.
Okay, go back to sleep.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for having me, and I will see you all soon. Bye.
See you later, Yvette. Take care.
Take care, Yvette.
I can add more to the stream. Sorry about the wait, Mar. It's just with.
No problem. Was just about 50 minutes now.
I know. But with Aberjam on, it's testing the limits at 4 people on.
Oh, and Arabic, that's so sweet. Arabic says now he wants to hear the song that I made about anti-tracker reigns. Thank you, Arabic. I'm glad you liked it.
Well, it should be in my Discord, so last I knew.
I'm not sure if I loaded it to the Discord, that particular one. I know I've put many songs up there, though. Arabic, if you go to the Unity Discord, you will find a section there. I don't know if it's still called Tales from Kurdistan, but that's what it was last time I looked. And it's a whole plethora of parody songs that I've done, which you may or may not enjoy. But if you're looking for something of that ilk, you'll find it on the Unity Discord.
Actually, that's been changed to Brew Crew.
Brew Crew. Okay, so now it's in the Brew Crew section.
It's in the
Well,
It's in
actually, no. The
the,
whole Discord has changed. Isn't it? The Discord has changed, hasn't it, from Unity
Discord
to
is
Brew
changed,
Crew?
yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So,
Yeah, it is under the Tales from Turtlestand.
Yeah.
We get nerds.
I put
Bed
I put the
life.
link in the chat. I'd put the link in the chat for the Brew Crew Discord, but sadly I can't.
Hotel Turtlestani. Bed life. A.T. Rains.
Just a heads up that they're about 6 minutes away from launch of the rocket taking Jeff Bezos and his brother and the founder of Blue Origin, who was a former Mercury, a woman who was trained to become a Mercury astronaut into space.
And yes, Arabic, according to COPPA, is there on the list, so you should be able to find it.
Oh, god damn, I hate the
Along with
fucking
many
Windows
other
updates.
half-assed parody covers. A Discord update?
Oh, yes.
That's fun.
Oh, no. Windows update, because, yeah,
Oh, Windows update.
all of a sudden I move it, and it goes, like, pops up a fucking window. Like, yeah. I'm gonna have to get rid of some stuff again.
Well, sad to say, I'm going to have to jump out. I can feel a medical emergency coming on. So the porcelain throne is calling.
Yes, understandable. You take care of yourself.
A pleasure as always. Enjoy the rest of the stream, and I may well be lurking. Take care.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
thank you.
See you around.
Blue Origin launch moments away.
I'm still trying to find out what Bird does to cats.
What do you mean? What do I do? I don't do anything to cats. I'm not a particular, I don't hate cats, but I don't love cats either. We had a cat growing up, and she did not like me. To be fair, she didn't like anybody, I suppose. My sister and I used to, if we didn't like somebody, we tell them, oh, she loves getting her belly rubbed. And this cat did not like getting her belly rubbed. If you tried to rub her belly, she would scratch, claw, and bite you. To this day, I have nightmares about being bitten by cats. I think, oh, what could she really do? What could this little animal really do to me? And it bites into me, and I feel this terrible pain. And I can't get it off.
You probably deserved it.
I probably did. You know, when I was a really young kid, I think I did do some bad things to cats.
Yeah. Did you eat all the cookies of all the cats you know?
No, I didn't eat the cookies. Cats. I was playing with the cats, but I don't think the cats found it all that fun.
Yeah, cats are a little bit different than dogs when it comes to playing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was playing with cats like you'd play with dogs, and I didn't understand that the cats aren't dogs. It's not that I was doing it on purpose because I hated cats. I didn't get the difference.
Throwing sticks and balls when you play with cats, that just doesn't cut it for them. They look at you and they look at you like they want to say, What the fuck do you expect me to do? Go get your shit yourself, man.
Basically. I'm
Well,
not
it
here
depends
to I'm not here to entertain you. You're here to feed me.
See, I've had a cat before. There's this little jingly ball that he did like being thrown. Because he liked running after it. But
He liked the ball being thrown, not the cat didn't like being thrown.
right, the cat liked the
See,
ball being thrown.
That's
Cats don't like
a
being
big
thrown.
difference.
Yes. He wanted the ball thrown because he liked to chase after it. So, but it was one of those type of things where when the cat wanted to do it, the cat would bring the ball. So yeah, not a normal thing. And only did it when the cat wanted to do it. Then when the cat was finished, if you threw the ball, it'd be like, yeah, and so what? I'm done.
Yeah, Garfield is a special case.
9,
Never
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engine ignition. It's not moving. There it goes. We have liftoff. New Shepard is the name of the capsule. It looks like a penis because that's the way it was designed. Marvel Gray. Why does it look like a penis? Now, they're only going to get like 63 miles high. So it's not nearly as high as a space station or an actual like NASA launch. But it'll be enough to give them this look at the Earth from high enough and see, get some weightlessness as they fall to the ground. This whole thing should only take like 15 minutes. Might even be less.
And hello, Dr. Alex.
Dr. Alex, would you pay to be on this rocket this morning?
You couldn't pay me enough.
Really? You wouldn't go on the rocket even if they paid you?
No. Mm.
I don't know. I think if they paid me, I'd go. 'Cause, I mean, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Become
Death.
famous. But it would be a famous death.
Oh, that hurts.
You would only be a famous dead then if that thing explodes. if they actually say you was on board. If they don't say it, then you will just be dead.
Okay, the main rocket fell away. Just the capsule is going now.
I agree with you, Richie. I think
They're claiming it's in 0G, which I guess it means it's falling. No, it is still going up. So how is it in 0G? It's still climbing. It's not in 0G.
there's no way it could be in 0G. None.
We've reached 346,000, 347,000 feet. Alexa, how many feet is 67 miles? Oh, okay. So they just stopped climbing. Okay. They
Now
hit a
they
max altitude of 351,000 feet. And it looks like the parachute has, I don't know if it's a parachute. They're now going back down. Now they're in 0G.
correct. In 0G, well, climbing.
It almost looks like the parachute is deployed, though. If the parachute's deployed, they're not in 0G.
Oh, I
1
don't
minute warning. What minute warning? I think something went wrong.
I wonder if the feet will be cut.
They're pretending like they're having fun, if nothing else.
However, Jam, that also would count for them being in space looking out of a window, because it could just be a flat screen built into the hull.
Oh, it's the rocket booster that's falling. It's not, the capsule isn't the parachute. So the rocket is coming in for its landing. Okay, that's what it is.
I have no link to the stream, so I won't be watching.
I'm just watching it on my local news. Okay, so the rocket is about to land. Because it's a reusable rocket.
Right.
So the altitude now is down to 12,000 feet, 10,000. I think that's the rocket, though. The capsule. Oh no, the capsule's about to land too. Okay, the rocket. Oh, the rocket is firing its rocket to slow down. Okay, we're actually seeing the rocket land, and it seems to have landed successfully. Okay, so the rocket made it. Landed right back down where it was supposed to.
Well, that's good to hear. At least that happened.
Now the capsule is 17,000 feet up, and it's about 2 minutes from landing.
Ah.
So this whole thing is less than 10 minutes. from liftoff to touchdown, it's less than 10 minutes. So it's got retro rockets that fire when it hits. Okay, the parachutes have opened, or at least the pre-parachutes. Those are some tiny ass parachutes. Oh, okay, they're the real parachutes.
Well, Everjam, faking it back in the 70s, 80s, or 90s wouldn't have been that hard because they had the footage, or they easily could make it happen. And Mythbusters proved it by showing that everything they did can be done from Earth as well.
The question is, yes, it could now be faked now, but could it have been faked then?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Well, the first movie about traveling to the moon was shot in the early 1920s, if I'm correct there.
They've landed.
Cool.
All's well.
And random. This says, compared to SpaceX, this is underwhelming. Watch your humor of these launches until someone named Zephyr does it. Yeah, I like that. All I can say, Richie Poole, is yeah, don't hold your breath. All right. Ow. Probably. Let's see here. And not Ryan Johnson. Bird needs to pay attention and get some pointers on how to land properly. Yeah, probably. But would it help? I kind of doubt it. Let's see here. Or were you watching it, Mar?
No, I haven't got a link.
Okay.
And if I got it correctly, now everything is over, nothing happened, so
You could watch it at 2x, go, oh, hey, yeah, that happened. Okay, over. And Mara, if you will do me the favor of taking over for a moment, please. I take care of something.
try. Oh, good night to Fedok.
Take care, Fedok. Well, I guess this wasn't exactly history in the making like it was in 1969 when they
When it was
landed
faked
on the
by
moon.
Disney. When the moon landing was faked by Disney.
I would disagree with that, but sure, whatever. It was a better movie either way. Even Sassy preferred it. And it was a bit underwhelming compared to, say, a SpaceX launch where you actually go into orbit instead of just go straight up. I mean, this was basically a fancy hobby rocket. You shoot up and then land, just big enough to put some people in.
And make it penis shaped.
Yeah.
Well, Bert, just think about it. It must have been faked by Disney. I mean, come on. One small step for a man? Who comes up with something like that? If you are the first man on the moon, you go out there and you say, "Suckers first!"
This was the 1960s. These guys had come from World War II. They had higher principles.
And they had less powerful computers than what we have in our calculators today.
I mean, it took at least to the second or third moon mission till they snuck golf clubs on board and played golf on the moon.
Well, you are correct, the Random Menace.
That throws up some questions.
Well, since he wasn't on Earth, he couldn't be the richest man on Earth because he wasn't here. So, yeah.
Yeah, but he left the planet and came back. The question now would be, does he still have all the same rights that he had before leaving?
No. uh, and didn't see anything. Where'd it go? Somebody mentioned JP's. I didn't see anything from him. Okay. All right. Well, but you're still under the
Influence.
yes. You cannot sustain that jump. And good morning, Jedi Bill. Let's see here. Good morning, Super Blubberpuss. Good morning, Richie Poole. And let's see anybody else I haven't already said hi to. I think. So what's going on, everyone?
Hello, Jedi Bill. Carlo. Yes, so I guess for a brief time he wasn't the richest man in the world. On the world. Huh.
Okay, Aberjam. That one. And Super Blubberpuss will work soon. Okay. Here's a fun fact. Technically, we only have 1 cent, not 5. Explain.
Yeah. I think some people say they're all technically touch. That sense, hearing is the feeling of the hairs in your ears vibrating.
Correct.
Smell is, I guess, really the feeling of certain receptors activating. Eyesight is the feeling of cones in the back of your eye. So I guess they could technically all go to feeling, but I kind of think that's a bullshit.
It's humorous, but it's bullshit. Yeah. And Aberjam says, you got it, bird.
And of course, what about the sixth sense, which is just the feeling of being tuned into the vibrations of other people's consciousness.
Yeah, the random menace, its hair inside the ears.
Well, I mean, it's not like regular hair, but it is little hairs that vibrate specifically to turn those vibrations. Our brain somehow turns those vibrations into sound. And some people go deaf. It's because those little hairs actually just fall out. Every time I think about the ear, I think about that scene from Star Trek 2. Those things crawling in the ears of Chekhov and his captain. Meet City Alpha 6 is only indigenous,
Well,
remaining indigenous life form.
I'm honestly not so sure if light on the skin would be physical. I mean, you cannot slap it or anything.
That's a good question. And good morning, Darius Moodhouse.
Good morning, Darius.
People are calling Jeff Bezos Lex Luthor now. I know it's not new, but it's like, what the fuck?
Who knows?
Just because he's bald?
People can be amazingly stupid. And
Really?
what?
Dan sent me a Twitter notification. Alex Kurtzman very optimistic about Section 31 series.
God.
Wait, it was already announced. What's there to be optimistic about?
Who
Unless
knows?
you were lying to us before.
Yes.
So are you going to admit you lied to us? That there
No.
never was an actual series? And now you're just optimistic that maybe you'll get one?
Oh, if sanity reigns, no. There will never be a Section 31 series. However,
Ryan Johnson still is positive about his new Star Wars trilogy, which will never happen because no one will fucking watch it. And they know it.
well, there will be a few watching it. There'll be two groups of people watching it. The diehard fans that will watch anything with a Star Wars label on it. You could.
That's not really the diehard fans. I mean, I do not buy tampons only because it has a Star Wars label on it.
Trust me, there would be people who would.
I know, but that is not hardcore fans. That's idiots. Sorry.
Oh, I tend to agree as well. Hell, I think if I could get the licensing rights to, put Star Trek on a box of shit, there'd be people buying it.
But that's usually also those fans who then try to explain nothing by saying, yeah, there is no sound in space.
There isn't.
Does it stop you from enjoying
Sounds in space?
No, it doesn't stop me from enjoying an explosion. It would stop me from enjoying something that said we're going to bounce sound waves off of this to figure out where they are.
whatever you're clicking stop in, B.
I was turning my volume down.
Oh, okay.
You got to remember,
Recording.
StreamYards tends to blow the sound much louder than YouTube does.
Yep.
So, for example, sound in space is not possible, but in the movie we also hear them communicate with each other, which we also couldn't if we are not listening into the cockpits, for example. So yes, sound in the cockpit, why not? And there we go with sound in space. Fuck you, you smartasses.
If there was no sound, and if we stuck with the laws, there's no sound in space, we wouldn't have the awesome TIE fighter sound.
Also could be inside the cockpit or sound from inside the cockpit.
Correct.
Could be.
And with that, we would have amazing sounds, even if the entirety of space would still be silent.
You know, Dave G sounds. It's funny you mentioned Section 31 being a ripoff of Psycor from B5. I actually was watching. I'm actually watching the first season of B5 over again while I was doing my redecoration that caused the destruction of various enterprises. Okay.
I have the feeling that's TMI LDG.
Especially when after your message earlier.
I have no idea what this is about.
LDG likes to drag things out. Instead of just saying it, he just does that.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay, which version? I don't think I've actually seen the original myself. It really wasn't a slasher genre I cared for. Though I must admit I was happy to get ghost-faced and Cap, did I tell you what I find? Did I tell you I finally found something I've been looking for? Okay, I'll show you real quick, man. I've been looking for this one. I stopped by the retro store and I saw him, and I was just like, "Oh shit!" I couldn't have gotten any luckier. It was the only one they had.
Magnify that just a second. Oh, cool.
Sorry about the lighting. I know I'm
No
still.
problem.
Yeah.
No.
Got stripe.
Cool.
Freaking got stripe, man. Oh my god. I couldn't believe it. He's got the chainsaw and the freaking little cutting tool. I mean, I just like, dude, I was so blown away. It's like as soon as I got home, I put him right on top of Gizmo. Yeah, so one thing I love about that retro store is I can go there and they always get new stuff.
You sure you watched Black Widow, Blubber Puss?
Oh, thanks, Eric. Yeah, that was one of those I call a big find.
Let's see here now. Be a lot more that.
I will see the movie when Disney Plus releases it for regular in October. I just, whether I like it or I don't like it, I don't have an interest. Nobody in my house has expressed an interest in watching it, so I've seen her rush it.
No.
Oh, Everjam, you already watched Gunpowder Milkshake? I have it on my list.
I don't know if anybody saw earlier. I watched since my internet was down. I had to treat it like it was the 90s when you didn't have cable. I just watched movies. So I ended up watching some movies that I hadn't seen. One of them being I rewatched the original Frankenstein. Realized that I had never watched Bride of Frankenstein in my life. So I watched that. Absolutely loved it. It is definitely one of those superior sequels. Son of Frankenstein, also good. Ghost of Frankenstein, still pretty good. And then once the internet came up, I decided to watch Midnight Run. I had never seen it. I really knew nothing about the movie. It was funny. I probably would never watch it again, but it was entertaining.
Well, Everjam, the movie had me actually sold, as they said that Michelle Yeoh will be starring in it. So I still will give it a try.
I don't know. Like I said, I'll either like it or I don't. You know, but I'm kind of not really that interested. In fact, the only movie right now I'm interested in going to see in theaters is, honestly, same with my wife, is actually going to see Top Gun. That's kind of the only thing that's really popped out as me as something I want to go see at theaters.
And when it comes to Black Widow, it bashes men as much as Loki was shown to be gay in the series Loki.
Yeah, I would disagree with you on that. But that's a topic for another time.
Well, Loki wasn't shown to be gay there.
No, I have a different. I kind of have a very different point of view on
You watched a different
show of
series.
Loki. Well, yeah, I saw the series. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I liked it too. I wouldn't say love it, but I liked it.
Nah, I actually loved it. That's the thing. I really quite enjoyed it. I'm going to do, which was supposed to happen Thursday, but the internet was spotty due to rain. And then between Friday to now, until basically today, I didn't have internet. So, and I've got other things already in place. So I'm going to have to readjust my schedule again. But I have quite a bit of thoughts on Loki the series, and yeah, I'm gonna get a pretty good bit of it out in about 10 minutes for the entire season, because quite frankly, there was very much I enjoyed. I understand there's a lot of people who didn't. That's fine. I am also going to point out that LDG got the ending wrong. I quite enjoy rubbing that in.
Well, the very fact they've made it clear that these TV series aren't connected in any way with the movie universe means they're absolutely, utterly pointless. They can be entertaining, but they're pointless.
That's true.
Well, that's one I actually wanted to do a topic on. That was going to be one of my live shows. That was actually going to be my Thursday live show, but I'll probably do it this Thursday. Is what would really be considered canon in Marvel, the MCU now? You know, oh wait, I did do that, but I only got about 10 minutes because nobody was there. But you know, let's go with Shield and Carter, maybe. The Netflix shows, there's no reason they have to acknowledge them. Runaways, Cloak and Dagger. I think there was another one. The Inhumans. I mean, none of those. They don't have to acknowledge them at all, because there really wasn't much reference to anything in the MCU movies in those particular ones. So they can pretty much be washed out, and they're not going to lose anything on that, except for people who are pissed off because they want either Daredevil, the actor who played Daredevil, or the actor who played the Punisher to come back. But welcome to reality.
You know, if the studios want people to invest in the TV series, it really has to count. And the way they're doing it now, it's like, why watch? Who cares? I mean, I could go in and watch the whole thing now and go, oh, okay, well, it doesn't really matter because it's not really connected to anything.
Just watch them, and I have to say I watch them for free, because I do not pay for my Disney account, as I do not have one myself. I use my brother's Disney account.
Yeah.
So I watch them just to see if they keep their promises, all these things that they tell us before it starts. And then I'm normally pretty disappointed if it is not even shown anything of what was promised.
That's another issue, yeah.
What?
What?
Ultraviolet. Aberjam. Ultraviolet.
Okay. Milton Knowles survived his first Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Well, that's good.
That's awesome. I miss those days.
Oh, okay, fine.
Listen to me very carefully, because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
Coffee. Black. While I've got your attention, there are...
Coffee first. Well, this mentor would like another cup of coffee. I'm just gonna have to give up coffee. Want some coffee?
If I'm not mistaken, that's your third cup this morning.
Fourth, and on a day like today, it won't be my last. Coffee. The finest organic suspension ever devised. Commander, set a new course. There's coffee in that nebula.
Feel better?
Well, Eric Saunders was wanting it.
Well, got to do what the audience wants.
Yep.
Now, when it matters most, the straightforward facts. ABC is number one news. Good morning.
What the fuck? That thing was muted.
It wasn't.
No, not me. That freaking thing. That was actually from. That's why I couldn't figure out what the hell it was. It was coming off of Twitter, and I use IE for that. So sorry about that. I don't know why the fucking thing all of a sudden started doing that. Probably clicked the wrong thing.
It happens.
Yeah, I haven't had enough coffee today. Oh.
And I do hope everyone's doing well today. I can't say I am, but I decided to go on anyhow.
I will say this THC cream I got for my shoulder is definitely helping nicely. It's not permanent or anything, but, helps me get through the damn day.
So,
Yes, Bird.
actually, let me see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me at this voice?
Yeah, a little different, but yeah.
Okay, so I was just on a phone call with Medicare. Mama Pray needed to have permission to speak on my behalf.
Right.
She's still on the phone with them. That's why I'm talking low.
Right.
So the woman says, well, I need to speak to your son, which is normal. And so she said, okay, how long do you want to give permission to speak? I said, well, how long can I give? I was like, 10 years or life? She's like, oh, yeah, no, we can give to the lifetime of the account. So I was like, okay, then do for a lifetime of the account. That's fine. And she's like, okay, sorry. And she went through all these questions and it took like maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And she's like, well, the good news is you won't have to do this again. And then at the very end, she's like, okay, let me see how long I can put this in for. And she couldn't do it for the lifetime of the account. Guess what the maximum length she could put it in was?
1 year.
14 days.
14? The fuck?
All of that for 14 days. I just laughed. I said, thank you. Well, it's better than nothing. Like, she literally said a minute earlier, oh, it'll be for life. I hope that that's not a sign that I'm only going to live 14 days. Oh. Anyway, typical Medicare story. Just thought I'd share the kind of thing that you just have to laugh off. Because if you took it too seriously, you'd cry.
Yep.
Well, damn, I'd really hate to leave on that note, but Cap, I told you I could only come on for 30, so my time's up. Bird,
sorry,
Cap,
NB.
everybody, you guys all have a great one.
Thank you.
Like I said, you guys have a great one. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.
Later.
I didn't realize you were on a short time. I would have waited.
There's no need to have waited. Okay. I'm just going to have to go back to the doctor and do what he has suggested before. Get a change of meds, which is going to fuck with my whole system. But hey.
Well, if it works out better, I mean, it's probably worth it. Obviously, waking up in pain like this every day is no way to live. If they said that there was a chance you get more relief, I would jump on it.
I just didn't like the idea of it. And right now, it's prospects for finding a doctor are not great. I'm going to have to, again, when I go to the wound care doctor, I'm going to have to express my concern. The only doctor they've been able to find so far is the idiot that messed up my surgery in the first place.
Right.
Yeah, I don't exactly trust this idiot.
I need a quick minute for Shaloja because of the LASIK.
Absolutely. Yes,
But
understandable.
I do see Aberjam question for the panel, favorite female lead in a movie. I'm going to think about it.
All right. Female lead in a movie. That's a good one, actually. What about you, Mar?
What about me?
Who was your favorite lead, a female lead in a movie? Female character, excuse me. Lead character.
Oh, female character. Well, I would say that would be Resident Evil Alice, because I've watched all of them, and for one, I even had the complete cinema for myself.
Cool. I like this one. Changing the topic, obviously. Janeway was a hag. Janeway was kind of hot. So we got two different viewpoints there. Honestly, I would say Sarah Connor. T1, T2. Everything else is just no.
Well, they killed Sarah Connor in the last movies, so
I would wonder if Sarah Connor would count as a lead. I mean, the hell, the movie was called Terminator, too.
Yeah, but she was
She was a lead, but I don't think she was the lead. I am having a hard time. There's one movie franchise I can think of, but it is so far back and it's a comedy. So I feel like there's got to be more than that. I'm just having trouble thinking. I mean, your favorite, I'd have trouble thinking my favorite male too, but I could think of a hell of a lot more movies with male leads. Like all the Star Trek movies, for one. Although I guess you could say Princess Leia was a lead in the original Star Wars, but she wasn't the lead. I mean, Luke was the lead.
well, we have had a lot of good written characters over the years before Hollywood became this woke bullshit that it is now.
I see we lost Captain. He'll be back, I'm sure. Well, the female lead I could think back offhand was Kirstie Alley and Look Who's Talking. That's how far back I had to go.
And Everjam, if you mean with Lilo Dallas, the Fifth Element, and then it wouldn't be Dallas with a family name.
Oh, okay. Aberjam says, to be clear, the female doesn't mean to be the lead, just the female lead. Okay, well that changes everything.
JP's Kirstie Alley. Really? Which one? The slim one or the fat one? Yeah, technically, as I said about Jim, technically they wasn't married at the time, so maybe they did after the movie. But that's something we will never find out.
Let's see. So if it's just the female lead, honestly, I'd probably say Princess Leia from the original Star Wars trilogy. She's damn good. I would say if she would count Savick in Star Trek 2, again, another Kirstie Alley, but she's definitely up there. Let's see, something more recent.
As I say, there is a lot of great written female characters during the years.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking of like MCU films or stuff.
Nope. I also wasn't thinking MCU there. Didn't even came to mind that there is an MCU when it comes to female lead characters, especially not good written ones. But you could say the same for DCU. So it's not just a problem that the MCU has.
You know, I like the first Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Of the DCU.
The first Wonder
that was pretty good.
Then again, they killed it off a little bit with the second one.
Yeah, I mean that was the problem with the second one. They kind of screwed everything up. They literally took some of the best parts of the first one and retconned it.
Yeah.
In the second.
Stop the can.
Look who's back.
I can't hear crap, but I'm going to assume that I can be heard.
We can hear you,
I'm
Captain.
going to obviously need to refresh. So if anybody's talking, let me know.
We hear you, and
there
we're talking.
Okay, I can hear you.
Can you hear us now? Okay, good.
Oh, I hate the internet. He's backstage, or was for a second. So what's been going on since I had to reset it?
We've still been talking about female leads. Aberjam says it doesn't have to be the lead, just the female lead. So I ended up with Princess Leia.
I was on the edge, either her or with who I mentioned, because both strong female leads. And although Arnold was the lead, she was a female lead.
Yeah, Captain Trek, you are breaking off there.
Really? I can hear him.
Am I breaking up at anyone else? Because I can't tell. Let me listen to the stream for a second. See what I hear. Yeah, right now the stream's fucking far behind in my browser. Okay, live. Come on.
Just refresh.
Hold on a second. Okay, it's still. Come on. Okay, I'll have to refresh. Which means I go back to top chat, of course. So anyhow, what's going on?
Yeah. Not a whole lot.
JP says I sound fine. Okay.
Oh, I will be right back.
Okay, average. Okay. I can actually highlight the questions to do. There we go.
I'm working my way backwards. Well, from the first to the 100 of the top 100 movies of all time, according to Stacker, looking for one that I like, that I could say was my favorite female lead. And, well, to be honest, I've yet to find one that I would even consider a personal top 10 movie. So I clearly have different tastes. Then apparently everybody.
Well, the comedy, I would agree. I don't know about anything else.
There's nothing sci-fi on this list. I'm up to number 28, Toy Story. I don't even know. Have I ever even seen Gone with the Wind? Okay, finally, number 33. Oh, 32 is Saving Private Ryan. I don't know. I'd put that as a great movie, but Goodfellas at number 33. That's a great movie. I can't say that the women in it were leading actresses, but okay. 37 was Star Wars. Really? A Streetcar Named Desire? Toy Story 3? What? This is crap.
What?
They have Toy Story 3 as the 45th best film of all time.
What?
I know. It's ridiculous. This whole list is ridiculous.
Where are you seeing this damn list?
Stacker.com. I'm going to put in the link. I mean, it's oh, okay. The Dark Knight, number 52. That probably isn't even. That's over. That's too high.
And good morning, William Jackson.
Oh my God. The Irishman of 2019 is number 56. That is bullshit. That movie sucked ass. 209 minutes of pure total crap. Manchester by the Sea. What the fuck is that? Marriage Story?
What?
I don't know. There's a movie called Marriage Story. Never heard of it. Fantasia. Hardly a top 100 movie.
Okay, and Darren Wagner has a legitimate question. What credentials does God damn it, I can't get the fucking thing to show.
Okay, Dunkirk. At least there was something.
Straight. I highlight one message, it jumps. Thank you. Actions. I want. No, it doesn't.
Okay, Back to the Future is number 79. The Social Network, really? Social Network belongs on the top 100 list. Like I belong on the top 100 athletes of all time.
Oh, golly. Maybe top athletic YouTubers, but yeah. What the fuck not?
Finding Nemo. What the fuck? I think Pixar just did something of a sexual nature to the person who wrote this article. It's ridiculous. I'll put the link in for anybody who wants to get angry at it like I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Godfather's number one, but there's no oh yes, thank you, Elihu. Angela Lansbury in Bedknobs and Broomsticks. That's my favorite female lead. Perfect. Wow. Did not expect to think that I would be thanking Elihu for taste in movies, but in that account, I guess we have the same taste.
Dear God. That should scare you right there.
Traguna, McCoytes, Trahorum, Citus Stay. Do you know what that is, Captain?
Not a fucking idea.
That's the spell for substitutionary locomotion.
Wow.
It's the key to winning the war. Yeah, it makes inanimate objects alive. So she was able to get all these old English knight armor, knights and whatnot, armor, like from a museum. Even though there was nobody actually in these suits to fight the Germans during World War II.
Ah, okay. Let's see here now. Go to...
Along with the Old Home Guard, they protected England from an invasion by the bad people.
I can see it's been a while since you played Nation States, Bird.
Oh
21
no,
days.
did Karoga fall again?
No, you got 30
Usually
days.
they
so you
send me
got
an
a day
email.
left.
Okay, that's it. Usually they send me an email saying I better get in or else we'll lose it. I mean, although I did forget a couple times and they bring it right back once you do sign in.
Yeah. I must say, I've been watching different YouTubers recently, and really,
I'm so
how do
sorry,
I say
Cap.
this?
I gotta Jaloja again.
Go.
Goddamn
Go.
pills.
Go. That's fine. It's understandable. Let's see here. We'll have Dog and Xandu back to the theater. Yeah, that makes sense. Sure. And good morning, Darren Wagner, Pausa Kander, and yes, Harlow. Karoga. And how did it make me want to hang myself? Okay. So, let's see here. Anyone would like to join the panel, you're more than welcome. But I'm having a little issues with okay, yeah, I know that. I'm having problems. That's why I'm gonna have to reset. And I have Mark, you're gonna have to talk.
Sorry, Cap. I'm back. Last thing you said, you were watching other YouTubers? Hello, world.
If Captain Trek is still talking, then I cannot hear him. But
Yeah, I can't hear. Oh, he dropped.
He just dropped.
He
those.
dropped. I was curious what he was going to say. You've been watching other YouTubers, and he came to the conclusion that he's the best YouTuber.
What? Who's the best YouTuber?
Captain is the best YouTuber, obviously.
Oh.
I mean, it is his show, so who else would it be?
Well, I wouldn't know. I do not watch so many YouTubers. I know for a fact it's not Anti-Tracker.
Oh, Andy Tracker did message me. He is he may stream later. He's still not 100%, but the good news is they did finish the MRI. So I guess I don't know what the results will be, but at least they won't have to redo the MRI. The way I heard it explained yesterday, I thought that they had they weren't even able to finish the MRI.
Huh? I'm not sure if I should tell you this, but I have no fucking clue what an MRI is.
An MRI is called a magnetic resonance imaging. It's a tube you go into. It's like a CAT scan, but instead of using radiation, it uses magnets, and basically you just I don't know. They can see soft tissue like in your brain and stuff. Yes, I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. Well, the way Bert just explained it, I would say for Germany here it would be called MRT. So I have to remember that one. Even if I won't be able to go under that thing no more because of all the metal I have in my body now. Being stuffed with cables is no fun, I tell you. Which actually reminds me, I have to ask my dog how long the batteries to have on my defibrillator.
How long have you had your defibrillator?
For 3 years now.
Huh.
And normally they should work for 6, but the model they installed has had some troubles with the lifespan of the batteries.
That's not good.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not even sure if I still need it.
Gotcha.
But then again, my heart is getting better. But then again, it is installed, so I do not really think that they will just get it out anytime soon. Also, I'm not sure how much it really still does. I mean, I still feel it going off when I have hiccups or anything like that.
You don't feel it going off.
I do feel it going off.
Oh. So it is using battery.
So when I
I
have
always thought with those that like there was a way to charge them or something by a wire that went down your arm. Maybe
when I
I'm
have
misthinking. Sorry.
no problem. When I have a hiccup, and today I have lots of them, then for some reason the defibrillator signal, or the heart signals the defibrillator that it's not going correctly, and then it shocks me. Motherfucking
Is it
son of a
painful?
bitch. Not really. Well, it's like on those what's it called, amusement parks, when you have the electroshocker standing there and you touch them.
Right.
It's kind of like first degree shockings that you get on those.
Oh, uncomfortable, but not.
Well, yeah, you can feel it, but no, not a peacemaker, a defibrillator. But yeah, it has a peacemaker function as well. So if my heart would stop, it would give me, well, if it is still fully loaded, it could give me 3 shocks to revive me, to get my heart started again. Well, at the moment, still would be, I think, 2 shocks probably, maybe only 1. I don't know. And I asked them if they can make it look like this arc reactor from Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But of course, cool stuff like that cost extra. You don't get it. So I just got a stupid scar. And it's funny why everyone thinks it would be a pacemaker.
I mean, I think more people are familiar with pacemakers than
Yeah.
defibrillators.
Well, it's not really wrong, but it, as I say, it's 2-in-1 kind of deal. Oh, honestly, I have no idea what kind of what Picard has.
He had an artificial heart.
Oh, that would be great too. Artificial heart and artificial lungs, I would be up for that. And artificial legs, and while we are on it, arms.
Yeah, I mean, or just artificial lower body.
I would be up for a complete change. Just put my heart into a full functioning android. No, put my brain in a full
I was
functioning
going to
android.
say, I think you want your brain.
No one wants my heart. Not even me. Happens if you are talking about the heart so much. So, welcome back, Captain.
So, if they wanted to back.
There, I can hear Milo pray. I know the sound is working. Somebody
Sounds
was
like it does.
backstage. It is not anymore. Okay, good.
And no, it doesn't make me a cool cyborg because my piss still is warm. But yeah, whoever watched us play Cards Against Humanity might think it, because I never laughed during the game. I do not want to give away my cards.
Nope. Eventually.
Gobla.
Hello, Positive Candor.
Hello, Positive Candor. What's going on today?
Usual crap.
Yeah, well, the black and oily look comes from me drinking cola all the time.
I guess you watch Bezos go up in space or almost space or whatever you want to call it.
I didn't. Bird did.
I did. Yeah.
Bird did.
Couple.
So now expect Amazon prices to go up because of that. You gotta pay for it, you know.
Yeah, I was disappointed. In the chat, they said he shoots himself into space, and I was hoping that he wouldn't have ate enough beans, so that would be a small or not really successful liftoff.
Yeah, I was not expecting a little goofy capsule that separates to land on the ground. I thought that was kind of weird.
I haven't seen it. I've just heard Bert commenting on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you had 3 small parachutes come out at first, and then 3 bigger parachutes come out second. And it slowed it down to, I think it showed like 16 miles per hour. So basically, they touched down at 16 miles per hour. So I guess that's not too fast, I guess. But yeah, I thought it was kind of weird how, the rocket blasts you up there. Then I guess the capsule separates from it, and then the rocket touches back down so they can reuse it, I guess, like SpaceX. And then, but yeah, they were only up in space, I guess, just for a few minutes. And weightless, I guess, just for a few minutes. So,
And about Jam, well, see, the thing is that if I would be a cyborg, I wouldn't have that much pain. So that's why I really would trade my normal human body with android body anytime. Can't be worse than it is at the moment.
exactly.
If I could have a
I think most people would
body.
do it.
Yeah, I would do that.
Especially billionaires, they would obviously swap their body into, or swap their mind or whatever, or get a cyborg body just so they could live even longer and stuff like that. So it'll be for the rich at first, obviously, whenever they do that kind of thing. because people will want to prolong their lives as long as possible, I guess. So yeah, you just swap into another
cybernetic body.
yeah, another body.
Okay, it makes for interesting. Whatever you call that shit. This shit ain't ever gonna really happen because, yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah. No, it'll happen. Somebody rich enough will eventually do it. Become a cyborg, basically. It's just a matter of time of yeah, time and money, and yeah, who's brave enough to do it, basically, because obviously, if you mess up, well, there you go. Adios.
However, Champ, if you would be able to transfer your consciousness like that, that also means that someone could change your memories.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that
Yeah, I
would
mean,
make it programmable.
Yeah, I mean, it's well, I think the first thing is to not really probably just change out your your heart and your vital organs and stuff like that first. Um, and then eventually, because I don't think there's any way to basically cut your head off and basically attach it to something else. I don't think that's possible. Um,
All of it comes to the part when we really go the route of Cyberpunk 2077 with the bodies, then I would say we slowly getting to the part where we are fucked.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. The more you let computers do stuff, then yeah, who knows? They could become self-aware. It's possible. And then computers become self-aware, then you have no control over your body per se, then technically you're at the mercy of the computer. It could kill you anytime.
Well, as soon as we are able to program a functioning AI, we will get in trouble sooner or later anyhow.
Yeah.
But I tried to bring that up this morning as we had the same discussion on LDG stream. I just couldn't get a word in. Mr. CCDV means or said that we wouldn't go as far as to program them to do that because of Asimov's laws, which is completely stupid. If you have an android watching over your child, and then you go out and drink one too much, and comes back home and start hitting on your kid because it asks a stupid question or is yelling around or whatever, then the droid or the android has to decide if it protects the child as you ordered it to do, or if it protects life, which also could mean that it will protect the child at all cost. So that would be the part where the android has to decide if he breaks the rule, the Asimov rule. And then it's going down the road because you would think that those androids can communicate with each other. So it would spread around. And then we would have a Cybernet scenario. Not Cybernet scenario. Skynet. scenario. Where androids start to put their own lives before the human lives.
Yeah.
Well, restraining is not always that easy. I was in the security. Restraining someone might get him injured, which would be
Right.
break of the rule.
Yeah. Yeah, because then they could sue you. Or your company, anyway.
Unless you mean that the android prints out a restraining order and holds it in front of the owner, which probably won't work.
Yeah. I mean, growing up watching the $6 Million Man, for example, I think that's, it's already, in a way,
Carlo, if you are faster, stronger, and made of metal, you also can hurt someone way easier.
Yeah. I mean, they've done everything except for the faster, stronger part, because obviously, people you can get your metal legs and metal arms and all this stuff already.
Okay, but that still doesn't mean shit. We're not talking about cybernetic brains at this point. I mean, so they can replace an arm or a leg. That doesn't mean shit.
No, but that's just the first step towards it. That's the first step towards it, though.
Not really.
But yeah, if you want to see one of those scenarios, I could tell you to play Detroit Become Human. There you have exactly that scenario.
Well, I mean, they're talking about possibly using hibernation for the Mars trip, or which is a few months or whatever, or is it years, whatever it is. But yeah, they're talking about putting people to sleep because they think that nobody could stand the. Basically, you would go crazy on such an extended trip, basically.
That's highly unlikely, although you would need to have a vast food supply. That wouldn't be possible. It would be easier to have hibernation.
Right, yeah. Because basically, you got to take with you also enough stuff to eventually grow on Mars inside of, like they did, I guess, on The Martian with Matt Damon. You got to at least have enough stuff, that you could grow your own food. And then, and then hope that nothing goes wrong, basically.
Yep. Hey, Bird, what's going on?
Now we're just doing out paperwork for a sleep study.
Oh, great. That's always fun.
Yeah.
Darius, you are right. The game was great, but it also threw up some questions. Like, for example, the droids or the androids reprogrammed themselves. What if one of those droids actually would say that he was treated well by his owner and would have liked to stay with them, and then he becomes, or he gets this new informations and this new setup, and still feels the way, but still would have to leave because of the reprogramming.
Okay.
Because I can actually see myself becoming friends with one of those androids.
And you all will take over. I'll be back eventually.
Okay, take your time. Oh. And he popped out again.
I don't know what's going on. What is going on?
Hang on. Yeah, especially when I think about that I bought it because I thought it was a shooter. And then I end up firing not a single gun. But as I say, the game itself was pretty amazing because of all the decisions you have to take, and or the decisions you can make, and that it is not that it is non-linear. So So how did your gameplay end? I would like to say that not a single human was harmed, but well, my Connor playthrough did end up in the one or other human casualty. Also, the lady in the main menu, I forgot her name. I liked that she was commenting while you left after a scene. She was commenting on your choices. I've watched you play a while now. Do you think humans and androids could become friends? Well, with androids, life would get better, especially for the orphans in Koroga. Yeah, to be honest, I just did my special ending because everything else wouldn't be my own choices anymore. Or the choices that I did during the first run through or walkthrough or whatever you want to call it. And as I said, so far I liked my walkthrough. I think, what was his name? Lincoln. I think Lincoln was his name, and he was the only one I've lost. I'm not sure if I could have made a different decision there to keep him alive. Well, I wouldn't know that. Never was in Detroit. And probably the surrounding changes uh, in the years. Stuff you will never know. I mean, there is always lots of things that can happen till something like that goes off. cars, or just plain old reconstructions of the area. I mean, how fast do you think an android or a group of androids could dig out a river, for example? Yeah, as I say, if you have thousands of androids digging a river there.
With things going the way they are, I'm going to have to call this day. Thank you all for coming, and have a good one.
Okie dokie. Arrivederci, everyone.
This
was nice that you was here.
Sorry, Flugger. Talk to you another time.